2020 meeting of the Design Review Board. Some of you have participated in this before, and our task once a month is to meet with property owners and assist them as they attempt to make improvements to properties in the historic overlay district or the old Aiken overlay district. And we have both of those generally on our agenda each week. One of the first things we'll do here is to review our minutes from December, folks, and then I'd like to get a motion to approve or to revise those December minutes, work session, regular meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes of the Design Review Board meeting of December 3rd, 2019, work session and the regular meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Okay. A motion second. All in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Thank you. One thing has been suggested and to do with our agenda tonight is to shift item D to just behind election of officers. Item D is one that may not even need to be coming before our board, but it's part of our package, so we'll vote on it.
We have to pretend that the vegetation, in this case, the vegetation happens to be Hitchcock Woods, is not there. So it's a stretch,
Right.
but
Right.
yeah, currently it's not visible, but it would be.
Right, it's not visible now, and you have to kind of explain to people where it is, but could I have a motion maybe to move that, to make that item B?
So moved.
Okay.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I would be all right with that, but the applicant, it would seem that C and D go together because they both involve a golf club.
They do, but I don't know that they're the same, they're certainly not the same site. It's just the same,
Well, it's probably the same people involved.
well, I know. We got a motion and a second,
Not yet.
right? We don't have a second.
I don't think so.
Okay. All righty. We just have a motion, no second, to change. You want to leave it the way it is?
I'd like to make a second motion.
Go ahead. You would like to amend this one?
Just a new
Okay, make
motion.
another one. It's not got a second, so make another one then.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend our agenda to move items C and D to right after the election of officers
Okay.
and move item B to the end.
Okay.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second. Okay. All righty. Any discussion?
I think it'll help us in terms of time to move forward quicker.
Yeah. I think some of this, particularly item D, is fairly straightforward, and it'll give us time to discuss the other. Okay. The motion then is moving both C and D, but would become B and C, I believe. And item B would be in the D slot. All in favor of making that change to the agenda, raise your right hand. Okay, the motion's approved. Thank you.
I'm going to vote against it
Okay, we have one against. Okay.
because I wanted to be here for the arts one.
Oh,
I
I
have to
see.
leave.
Are you leaving early?
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
didn't know that.
No worry.
Let's just move forward and
Well,
we'll
we'll go
quick.
fast.
Just go. Keep going. Keep going.
Right. Let's proceed then with our election. I'm going to open nominations for chair.
I'd like to nominate McDonald Law for chair.
Second.
Second, third.
Okay, any other nominations? Come
Move we
on.
close the nominations for chair.
Second,
Okay, all righty. I'll accept that then. All in favor of McDonald Law as chair for 2020? Raise your right hand. Okay, I'm abstaining. All right, thank you. We'll keep moving. Let's open nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to recommend Lucy Knowles for vice chair.
Second.
All right. Any other nominations?
Mr. Chair, I move that we close the nominations.
All right. Okay. Discussion? Second. All in favor of electing Lucy Knowles as vice chair for the 2020? Raise your right hand. Okay. Elected. Now, the secretary will go ahead and open nominations, but I believe that we generally have a staff member as secretary. So would y'all like to make a
Yeah,
nomination?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recommend Mary Catherine Lawton to be.
Now, who is that? Mary
Second.
Catherine. All righty. Other nominations?
Move the nominations closed.
Okay.
Second.
Second. All right. Good. All in favor of Mary Catherine? I don't think we have to vote when there's only one, but, okay, so now we have our slate. Not a slate, we have our officers. Thank you. All righty. Now, we've just shifted things around a little bit, and we'll try to move quickly. The next item would be item C. Madam Secretary, would you introduce that?
Certainly. Now, item B on the amended agenda. Applicant Palmetto Golf Club requests approval for the construction of an addition to the existing bag barn structure located at 275 Berrie Road Southwest. That's tax map parcel 10520001001. And this is application H20-023.
Okay, thank you. Would you all, one of you as an applicant, come forward and give your name and address, please? At this one in the center, correct? Mhm.
I'm Marty Gillum. I'm with Gillum and Associates, a local contractor. I'm here to represent the Palmetto Golf Club and their board as their facilities manager tonight.
Good. Now, we've got some explanation in here, Marty, but if you wanted to elaborate any just briefly on some of the reasoning behind it, that would be helpful, I think.
Sure. And we have 3 buildings at Palmetto, our clubhouse, our pro shop, and then this bag barn. It's an existing bag barn. It has siding and shingles on it. And all we want to do is extend out the back. Our membership just needs more storage. We need more storage for golf bags and push carts. We like to walk at Palmetto, so it's mainly for that, and for our pro. And we have an existing slab there when we did our dumpster pad and upgraded our fencing some recently. There's a pad there. We just want to build this barn on the back of the existing bag barn, match all the finishes, add a couple of doors, and it's also going to cover up the dumpster that's there, and it also gives us a little extra roof line. I'm not a good architect like McDonald. I work for him occasionally, but I do think it will improve the roof line look too. So I think it adds to the appearance, but we just need the space, and we think it's beneficial to all.
Same materials that you have there now that aren't historic.
Correct. We're going to match what's there.
Yeah, 1950s or 60s or something, probably.
I'm not exactly sure when the bag barn was built, but
Yeah.
it's a beaded siding and a shingled roof.
Okay, and we got a sketch here, and we do see how it's attached to the existing. Any questions of Mr. Gillum?
You said you were going to also put a roof over the dumpster? That's not going to impede use of the dumpster, is it?
No, we're not roofing over the dumpster. The dumpster's existing. There's 3 bollards behind it and a curb so that it doesn't bump into where we want to add this building. And the curb would also keep any residue from the dumpster. So the dumpster's there in an open area with a fence around it. There's a porch to the left of it.
Okay.
The dumpster area is
All right,
open.
I
The dumpster truck
misunderstood.
picks it up, yeah.
Thank you.
All existing.
That's all.
Okay, any other
Is
questions?
this vinyl siding?
It is to match the existing, yes.
The existing vinyl?
Correct. Don't love vinyl, but it's actually a rather attractive vinyl. It covers the bead in it. You don't notice it vinyl until you get very close to it.
Okay. Okay, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Marty, thank you.
Thank y'all.
And we'll ask if anyone else would like to speak, either in support or in opposition to this. If you'd give your name and address, please.
Tom Farmer, represent the Whitney trustees. My address is 1775 Highland Park Drive, Aiken, South Carolina, 29801. And the Whitney Trust is in full support of this addition to the Bag Barn at Palmetto Golf Club located at 275 Berrie Road.
Good, good, okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well, we'll go ahead, we could entertain a motion and then.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we approve certificate application H20-023 as submitted.
Okay,
Second.
any further discussion? Okay, good. All in favor of the motion to add this addition to the Bag Barn at Palmetto Golf Club, raise your right hand. Okay, y'all good on that. Okay, Ms. Secretary, we have another one here.
Now, item C, previously item D of new business. Application H20-027, applicant Storage Development Incorporated requests approval for the construction of a metal maintenance shed on the grounds of the Palmetto Golf Club located at 275 Berrie Road Southwest, tax map parcel 105-20-01001.
Okay, I think, do we have a different applicant this time? Maybe, if you could do the same thing that Marty Gillum did, come give your name and address.
Okay. Brad Brody, Storage Development, also representing Palmetto Golf Club. Address 230 Colvin Avenue Southeast, Aiken.
Yeah.
I am elected as the GC, just as Marty is, will be doing the storage shed. These are the pictures that I sent you, right? Okay. These are some aerials that I took out there so you can kind of get a better feeling of where the maintenance area actually is, and not to confuse it with the area of where the golf club is located. It's nestled in the trees, and if you've ever played Palmetto Golf Club, coming up fairway 13, even in the dead of winter, you cannot see where this specific shed will be located. And if you're going down 14 fairway, even when you walk up to the treed entrance and past the little historic house there, you probably can't see it either because it's tucked back into the trees, at that point there. But anyway, it's a second maintenance shed there. 3 years ago, we had a canopy covered area, and we pulled a permit at that point to cover the three sides of it. We added a little addition to the rear of it, and you can see, I think actually the center picture right there is showing that existing maintenance shed there. And what we're doing is just adding an additional one. As you can see right now, there's a lot of equipment that's outside of it, and they want to house all of that to keep it, out of the weather.
It'll actually make it a little more organized down there, I think, won't it?
Exactly. It is a little disheveled as it is right now. So.
And the same color as the one that's there.
Exactly. We're just matching, what we did there 3 years ago. 3 years ago, we didn't have to come, before the board, so, but, nothing different. We've got the foundation is already prepped. The footers are dug, the plastic is there, the rebar's in the footers, and we're just, waiting, approval at this point. So.
Well, thank you for bringing it in. I guess theoretically could be visible, but if you all wanted to make sure you knew where it was, if you go to the the map, the aerial photo behind all these 9 photos, it gives you a good idea of where it is, and it's nowhere near the clubhouse, which is also in the historic district. I guess the whole course is in the historic district, but you can see where it is. It's off of Whiskey Road, actually. Okay, thank you. Would anyone like to speak? Maybe our Whitney Trust
Again,
Foundation? What?
Tom Farmer representing the Whitney trustees, and we are also, as landlord of the property, in full support of Storage Development, Inc., building this
Good.
shed, because we desperately need to store that equipment,
Yeah.
which is extremely expensive in a covered area.
Yeah.
And also, I think it was mentioned on, if you'll notice on the overhead property shot, yeah. All this is in fact the Whitney Trust. Hitchcock Woods does not start until here. So that's about 60 acres, and
Of woods, yeah.
it is not currently visible from any street.
Great, okay. All right, everybody clear on what we're talking about? Good. Would anyone else like to speak with regard to this application? If not, we can entertain a motion. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a recommendation that we approve Certificate H 20027, building of a new metal storage building at the Palmetto Golf Course as written.
Right. Okay, motion second. Any further discussion? All in favor of the application as submitted, raise your right hand. Okay, we've got unanimous, I believe. She's voting yes. All right. Now, Madam Secretary, I think we have one more item.
Yes. The now final item of
Thank you.
new business is application D20-001024. Applicant Aiken Downtown Development Association requests approval for the addition of a mural to the Newberry Street frontage of the building located at 186, known on record as 200 Park Avenue Southwest, tax map parcel 121-21-06-002. And we note for the record 3 additional exhibits. I think I walked off and left this.
I think we probably have them, since you handed them to us already.
One here.
Got it, okay.
Yeah,
So
okay.
we've got for Exhibit D, a letter of support from the Aiken Arts Commission, Exhibit E, revised concept drawing, and Exhibit F, breakdown of languages spoken in the Aiken County School District through the ESL programs.
Okay, good. And now, who would like to be the applicant tonight and give their name and address, please?
Hi, good evening. I'm Haley Knight. I'm the Executive Director of Aiken Downtown Development at the business address 208A, The Alley, 29801, personal address 125 Yarrow Way, 29803.
Good, thank you. We appreciate your coming to the work session, and that allowed us, I think, to get a lot of questions answered. Not sure there are any questions. We learned that the mural is going to be mounted on the wall rather than painted on the wall, so we learned that it and can be changed in the future. And we got, of course, the updated rendition of presumably the final art that would go there. Do y'all have any questions? I think,
Hey, Catherine, is this building on the survey or anything? I mean, is there anything special?
I don't remember if it's in the old Aiken Overlay District. It's not a landmark property. So it's not individually listed as a historic property.
I just wasn't.
Yeah, it's a very visible wall, you know, and the mural that's on there is kind of dated now and worn out. And there's a sign there that sort of probably should be removed, but I'll leave that to the owner. And I think the reason you all are looking at this tonight is the matrix allows the planning director and the chairman to approve murals or public art. And I didn't feel like that we had that authority, really, even though the guidelines allow it, or our matrix allows it. So that's why we're letting the whole DRB review it. And I think maybe another idea that was discussed was that you all might in the future have a process to review art, and then we don't get into the business of being art critics. I think we can look at the type of a mural you have and then the proposed location and determine if this is a good location for a mural. And it already has a mural. So that was one thing that came out of our discussion, that maybe there'd be a more formal process. And that way you have an idea maybe of some local input before it gets here. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see if anyone else would like to speak. Anyone in opposition or support?
Eric Brinkley, 62 Bates Road, Aiken, South Carolina, 29801. Forgot to mention in the work session that I did talk to the business owner, Solo Vino, who is our renter, and he is in full support. He loves the idea. He says nothing goes better than with love than wine. So, you know, wine and love. So, and that was it. That's just something we forgot to.
Sure. That's helpful. Yeah. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. Okay. We have someone else. Just give us your name, please.
Alexandria Nice, and 255 Lawrence Street, Southwest, Aiken, 29801.
Okay.
So I've traveled to lots of different places, and art is kind of a key part. You'll see families taking pictures with it. It brings people together, which one I think is great for murals, which we started to add. And this one connects all of the people of Aiken together into like the heart of our town, which I think is also beautiful. So I think it just adds to our downtown.
Yeah, I think y'all have given a lot of thought to this, to the idea of it being a community destination maybe, and actually attract visitors. And that has been a sort of lonely corner for several years now. Maybe it will improve the pedestrian activity.
I think it will definitely bring joy, so, and smiles. So that's good.
And those are all different languages saying, I love you.
Different languages that say I love you. There will be 22 different languages, which the Aiken County School Districts is the languages that the students speak. So it really embodies our current students, families, everybody in Aiken.
Good. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? All right, we'll go ahead and we can have a motion. And
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion on certificate 20-001024 with a heart full of love for my city of Aiken. I think that this will be a great design and mural that will come. It will feature arms and hands configured to create what our sign back there says, where character is known first. Everybody is represented in this, so I look forward to seeing it down. I move that we make a motion to accept this.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second? Okay, now, any discussion? Okay, hearing.
Well,
none.
you know, when I first saw this, I wasn't crazy about it. I felt like it was bright and out of keeping with our downtown overlay district, you know, but the more I thought about the guidelines, you know, where it says we should consider, is this a historical building? Is it taken away from the historical building, and so on and so forth? The building it's on is not something that I would consider, you know, historical like our old Aiken post office would be. And I am definitely not an art critic, and I don't want to be. And so when I think about the guidelines we have here and about the goals that the ADDA and the people who have worked on this, I feel like it's appropriate. And so I'm in favor.
It's had a lot of community support and time and effort and collaboration. Hopefully that'll bear fruit here, and it'll be a nice addition to that.
Well, and you know, we're here to kind of protect the historical nature of the city, but at the same time, I think we have to recognize that we want our city to continue to grow and be a vibrant and a place people want to come to. You know, so I think it's something that we should approve.
I think there's some value in having a different style here, and then another style here and another style there. Maybe that's some of the variety that you want downtown too. So, okay, well, good. Thank you.
I'm going to make my comments.
Okay.
When I first saw it, I didn't think it was appropriate. I've heard everything tonight. I still don't think it's appropriate. I think, to be blunt, it's a PC correct item, and we're all bowing to the PC correctness. You got 22 languages up there. I thought we were all Americans speaking English myself. So I don't think it fits with the historic downtown, and I'm obviously going to be opposed to it.
Okay, now we have an explanation for why you're voting against it, which is helpful for the record. I guess we've all had our comments. I personally favor having public art and murals, and particularly big blank walls being decorated and with color and form, and sometimes I think I have a preference for a little more of a 3D kind of a mural, but this has its own role to play, I think, and we'll see how it works. It does introduce color, which is nice, and a message, whatever the language. And we do all come from different backgrounds and probably spoke different languages somewhere back down.
But this is supposed to be a melting pot.
True. But I think that's kind of a melting pot, right? No?
No.
Okay. Any other comment or discussion? Okay.
Mr. Chairman, could I
Yes.
ask if the board does approve this, would the board be comfortable if there are any final tweaks, if words get switched
Yeah.
around and different, you know, as long as this essence is
Right.
the final version, are you fine with just a submittal of a?
Right. I think that would be
final copy.
good. It's a loose enough concept there that it allows some latitude, I think, in terms of maybe where some of the
Okay.
wording goes.
And I think that's what it is a concept.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Any wholesale changes would be different, but
Yeah.
Okay.
I think what we're approving is the use of the color and the, you know, the form there, and then the idea of the languages too. So, and we'll have our vote then, all in favor of the application as submitted, particularly in this last rendition. Raise your right hand. All opposed? Okay. All righty, thank you. I think we would entertain a motion to adjourn. Is that all?
Well, you, just for your information, you have the 2020 meeting schedule in your packets. So-
Thank you. Don't throw it away. Don't throw away your packet.
Sure.
Because it's
What
in
is
there.
our rule for attendance?
Nothing.
How many meetings can you miss before you're replaced?
Consult the bylaws.
It's really not, it's not a set meeting, it's not set.
Set number.
Because you can have an excused absence. When I was out for almost a year because of my accident, I mean, that was, all of those were excused.
Your bylaws say if a board member is absent during a calendar year, either from 40% or more of regular meetings or from 3 or more successive regular meetings, the member shall be removed from the board and will not be reinstated to the remainder of a term except through resolution adopted by a majority of city council. So I don't know how stringent you all have been with that.
I think we've had several that we've lost because of lack of attendance, but we also have extenuating circumstances such as your accident, and that wasn't approved. You know,
Yeah.
we're glad she's back.
I don't see that language in there, but I think that that's common sense. I mean, I think it's up to your discretion to
Yeah.
invoke
Sure.
full enforcement of the letter of the law.
Yeah, okay. All right, do you have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Moved.
Thank you.